Back in the middle of July, I did something I never thought I would ever get a chance to. I went to my favourite country in the world. Yes, for 1 whole week, I visited Denmark, specifically Copenhagen, its capital city. I went with my boyfriend Mike and our 2 good friends, Joe and Adrian. And it was, frankly, the best week of my life. If you know anything about me, you will know that I am a massive Scandiophile. Denmark in particular has always been a country I've really longed to visit. And this year my boyfriend had the crazy idea of actually doing it, actually going to Denmark, fulfilling my childhood dream. Hey Mick, where are we?
Copenhagen.
Yeah.
In Denmark land. Yeah, Denmarky.
We flew out on July 15th and we really didn't do all that much on the first day. We just kind of got accustomed to our surroundings, had a little nose around our hotel. Our flight got in fairly late, so we didn't really have that much time to do anything touristy. We did, however, stop for dinner at the best restaurant I think I've ever been to. It's an all-vegan place called Souls, and it sells burgers and pizzas, real nice comfort food. It was just the most incredible thing I think I've ever eaten. It was so good. Day 2, however, was where the sightseeing began. As it happened, our hotel was about a 5-10 minute walk away from the Little Mermaid, so in the morning we headed down to see what is probably the most disappointing statue I've ever seen. It was brilliant, I loved it. She just looked really sad and quite sorry for herself, and the swarms of people around it was kind of ridiculous given how small the statue actually was. Afterwards we hopped on a tour bus to go to the National Museum of Denmark to soak up some Danish history. It did have a few really interesting exhibits. There's a whole section on modern Danish culture. It had all sorts of exhibits like computers from the 90s and a weird 1970s style living room. There's a room dedicated to cosplay, which was actually really bloody cool. And for me, what was probably my favourite exhibit, a miniature Eurovision Song Contest as told by toilet roll people. Because why not, you know? There's this big room full of these glass balls hanging from the ceilings, and they all had these little people inside of them that had been made by school children. And the idea was each one was a singer representing their country at the Eurovision Song Contest. It was cool. It was really cool. Then for lunch we headed over to a street food market called Reffen. It was tucked away at the back of an industrial site, which was also where they did Eurovision 2014. I saw a Eurovision building. Oh my god, life made. Just this maze of stalls selling all sorts of food from all corners of the globe. It was absolutely incredible. It was totally out in the sticks. It felt like a proper little secret hub of all this amazing food. And there was lots of vegan things, which, you know, is good because for once I didn't have to worry about eating at all. Denmark, oh my god, you are so f***ing good for vegan food. And in the evening we went to the Planetarium to watch a show all about the history of the universe. The next morning, Joe wanted to hunt out a Hans Christian Andersen gift shop in Nyhaven, which is the proper postcard Denmark that you always see. It was kind of surreal in a way to be surrounded by these beautiful buildings that you've always seen on postcards and in movies and TV. It was really bizarre to actually be there. From there, we took a boat tour, which is something I've never done before, but I've always really wanted to. It was really peaceful and just so nice just to sit on the water and watch the world go by. After the boat trip, we headed off to the Cisternen, I think is how you pronounce it. Sorry if I'm butchering that. It's an old reservoir under a park in Frederiksberg that they've now converted into an art space. Every year they put on a different exhibition, and this year it was by a group called Superflex. They created a post-apocalyptic world by flooding the basement and really dimly lighting it with lots of spotlights. And all throughout you heard droning music. It's almost like some sort of warning call. It was almost as if they were saying, this is what's going to happen to the world if we don't get our act together and fix the planet. And it was probably the best art experience I've ever had. Just the fact that you're immersed in the water, wading around these dark caverns, was just so creepy. It was amazing. Then in the evening, we went to Tivoli, Copenhagen's theme park. And oh my god, how is something so stunning just packed right there into the middle of the city? I just don't know how they do it. It was kind of magical in a way. You stepped off the busy main road and walked into these beautiful gardens with all these amazing rides and shows and music and people. It was so cool. We decided to go on what was effectively the Hans Christian Andersen version of It's a Small World, because we figured it's the most Danish thing we can possibly do. So we did it. And it was so cute. It was super cute.
One loose little feather may easily grow into 5 dead hens. There's no doubt about it. A swift reindeer carried her northward as she searched for the Snow Queen's castle. Kai and Gerda are safely home, but watch out. The wicked demons are still causing mischief. Thank you for joining me in the Flying Trunk. I always enjoy sharing my fairy tales.
We went to an aquarium that they have tucked away underneath a concert hall, which is also where they did Eurovision 64. I got 2 off my list. Thank you. Which for the most part was just us and maybe 2 or 3 other people. It was so quiet and so peaceful compared to the rest of the park. And then to top it off, we saw a ballet show at the Pantomime Theatre, which again was just super, super cute. After all that was said and done, it was dusk and the lights came on, and it was even more beautiful than it already was. Tivoli is probably one of my favourite places in the world, and my god, I really want to go back. On to day 4, the Thursday, and me and Mike split off to do our own thing for a day. In the morning, we went off to find a vegan bakery, because we've come all the way to Denmark and we still hadn't found a vegan Danish pastry. What was that about? Honestly, Denmark, you let us down. And this shop was frankly the most amazing place. It was so good. Everything was vegan, I could eat it all, and I ate it all. It was so good. I know a lot of this trip has been about food, but I like food, alright, and Denmark, really f***ing good for food. And then to enjoy our pastries, we took a short walk to the Copenhagen Botanical Gardens. It's a very me and Mike thing. We love sitting in nature and just watching the world go by. The Copenhagen Botanical Gardens were no exception. Much like Tivoli, it was this beautiful, amazing garden just tucked away in the corner of a city. It was stunning. It was absolutely just beautiful. And then the afternoon rolled around and we made our way to Grand Concert. We saw Alphabet playing a music festival in their native country, and it was the best day of my life. If you're new here, you will not know that I am absolutely head over heels in love with the Danish pop band Alphabet. And recently they returned from a 6-year hiatus, which I was absolutely ecstatic about. And then when we were planning this holiday, we were looking for things to do, and lo and behold, Alphabet happened to be playing. And I thought, f*** this shit, I'm going. And it was amazing. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. So good. Oh my god. It was so good. Oh, and also we saw Car Park North. Rama don't really play outside of Denmark much either, so it was really cool that we got to see them too.
Everyone is waiting at the spot as we were told, 'cause we were the abandoned ones. Oh, how many times do I have to say there is a light ahead?
After their sets, we had a little bit of time to kill before dinner, so me and Mike took a stroll to the beach, because the concert just happened to be right slap bang on the seaside. What? Seriously? So cool. Yes, you guessed it, it was pretty damn beautiful too. Denmark is just the most picturesque place I think I've ever been. And to wrap our last full day up, we headed back to Seoul's, because obviously it was the best place ever and we had to eat it twice. The last day came around, day 5, the Friday, and we had to leave fairly early, so we really couldn't do anything in the morning. So we took one final look around our hotel, packed up our things, and made our way to the airport. And begrudgingly said goodbye to my favourite country in the world. I want to go back. I really want to go back. I've started learning Danish now. Me and Mike have started learning Danish. This is what you've done to us, Denmark. Even just talking about it now seems kind of crazy. I genuinely still can't quite believe that I've done it. I know it sounds really sad, but I've honestly dreamed of visiting Copenhagen for so long. And this year, finally, it all fell into place and we actually did it. We actually went. We went to Copenhagen, we experienced the city, and it was just the best f***ing week of my life. Oh my god. What about you, humble viewer? Have you ever been to Denmark? What would you recommend I do for next time I visit? Because it's definitely happening. I'm definitely going back. And as always, if you did like this, please don't forget to leave it a thumbs up and click subscribe for more. I make loads of videos, usually about the Eurovision Song Contest, but sometimes about travelling to amazing places. Either way, I think you'll probably like it. And if you do want to keep watching more, just click the links on screen now. K thanks, K bye.